The following message is transmitted at the request of the Houston Police Department. An unusual and dangerous situation is taking place in downtown Houston. At approximately 12:34 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a massive swarm of bees were reported to be flying around downtown Houston. These bees are capable of causing damage to life and property. It is believed that there are around 500,000 bees reported swarming the city, and their origin is currently unknown. Around 100 people were killed, along with 200 injured or stung. All residents in the city of Houston are advised to return to your homes. Lock all windows and doors to prevent these bees from entering your home. Travel has been prohibited by Houston police. If a single bee enters your home, make any attempts to swat it. If you get stung by a bee or several bees, go to the hospital or doctor immediately. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Harris County Animal Control. Animal control officers have confirmed that all of the bees that are swarming the city of Houston are Africanized killer bees. These bees are extremely dangerous, as they attack people in massive numbers. Also, venom researchers have confirmed that the venom in these bees is as toxic as a Japanese giant hornet. If you encounter a swarm of bees, run away as fast as you can and get into the nearest building. All residents of the city of Houston are strongly advised to shelter in place. To shelter in place, you are advised to do the following instructions. Go inside a sturdy building, and find an interior room with as little doors and windows as possible. Lock all windows and doors. Turn off all heating and air conditioning systems. Close all fireplace dampers, and seal all cracks on doors and windows with tape or damp towels. Researchers are unsure why these bees have such a different venom. However, it is believed that these bees are genetically mutated, but it cannot be confirmed at this time. Grab an essential set of supplies for your shelter, such as non-perishable food, water, clothing, medical supplies, a first aid kit, a flashlight, and a battery-powered or hand-crank radio with extra batteries. Stay tuned to this station for further information on this dangerous situation. Civil danger for southeastern Texas. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Texas Emergency Management Agency. The bees that were reported in Houston are reproducing at an exponential rate, and new swarms have been reported in multiple counties in southeast Texas. These counties include Harris, Galveston, Jackson, Fort Bend, Liberty, Hardin, Orange, Jefferson, Waller, Colorado, Austin, and Washington. These bees were reported to have caused around 3,000 fatalities and around 6,500 stung victims. It has been confirmed that these bees are genetically mutated and are reproducing at a much faster rate than average. As a precaution, all residents of these counties are advised to get inside a sturdy building immediately. If you get stung by a bee or a swarm of bees, you will face death within 30 minutes to an hour. Stay tuned for more information on this situation. Civil danger for the entire state of Texas. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Texas Emergency Management. Massive swarms of genetically mutated killer bees have been reported in multiple cities in the state of Texas. These cities include Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, Austin, Fort Worth, El Paso, Arlington, Corpus Christi, Plano, Laredo, Lubbock, Irving, Garland, McKinney, Waco, Frisco, and Galveston. These are believed that these are the same bees that caused massive chaos in southeastern Texas earlier. As a precaution, a shelter-in-place order has been issued for all residents within a 45-mile radius of these cities. To shelter in place, you are advised to do the following instructions. Go inside a sturdy building, and find an interior room with as little doors and windows as possible. Lock all windows and doors. Turn off all heating and air conditioning systems. Close all fireplace dampers. And seal all cracks on doors and windows with tape and damp towels. At this rate, it is believed that these bees will reproduce at the rate that they will be reported in all Texas cities. Grab an essential set of supplies for your shelter, such as non-perishable food, water, clothing, medical supplies, a flashlight, a first aid kit, and a battery-powered or hand-crank radio with extra batteries. Tune into local media outlets for further information on this dangerous situation. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. It has been reported that the bees in Texas have spread into multiple nearby states. These states include Oklahoma, New Mexico, Louisiana, Kansas, Arkansas, Colorado, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. These bees have been reported to have caused tens of thousands of deaths and hundreds of thousands of stung victims. Victims that were stung were reported to go into cardiac arrest and were dead within 30 minutes of being stung. Hospitals are overflowing with victims, and wait times are currently very high. As a precaution, these states are being put under martial law until further notice. No one is allowed to exit or enter these states without permission from local and state authorities. Residents that are caught doing these actions without proper discretion will be arrested and questioned. A curfew will be in effect from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. local time. All residents and pets must be inside by 10. A mandatory shelter-in-place order is in effect for these states until further notice. To shelter in place, you are advised to do the following instructions. Go inside a sturdy building. Lock all windows and doors. Turn off all heating and air conditioning systems. Close all fireplace dampers. And seal all cracks on doors and windows with tape or damp towels. Grab an essential set of supplies for your shelter, such as non-perishable food, water, clothing, medical supplies, a flashlight, a first aid kit, and a battery-powered or hand-crank radio with extra batteries. Tune into local media outlets for later updates and further information on this dangerous situation. We interrupt your regular programming. This is a national emergency. Important details will follow. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted its regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency alert system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air providing news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is WCVB. We will continue to serve the Boston area. If you are not in this local area, tune now to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency alert system serving the Boston area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone line should be kept open for emergency use only. The emergency alert system has been activated to keep you informed. We interrupt our regular programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency alert system. All normal programming operations have been discontinued during this emergency. This is WCVB. This station will continue furnishing news, official information, and instructions for the Boston area. If you are not in the Boston area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone line should be kept open for emergency use. The emergency alert system has been activated. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. Reports of massive swarms of genetically mutated killer bees with a venom similar in toxicity to the Japanese giant hornet were reported in all 50 U.S. states. These bees were first originated from Houston, Texas, in a lab conducting experiments of bees. A chemical was accidentally put in near the venom sacs, and their venom was much deadlier and grew larger in size, and reproduced rapidly and escaped into civilization. It has been reported that there have been around 560,000 deaths and millions of stung victims. Symptoms of being stung are respiratory and cardiac arrest, followed by death. A national shelter-in-place order has been issued by the President for the entire U.S. until further notice. The President has also issued a national state of martial law and curfew until further notice. No one is allowed to leave or enter their local area unless if you have permission by local authorities. Residents caught doing these actions without discretion from local authorities will be arrested and questioned. The curfew is in effect from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. local time. All residents and pets must be indoors by 10. To shelter in place, you are advised to do the following instructions. Go inside a sturdy building. Close and lock all windows and doors. Turn off all heating and air conditioning systems. Close all fireplace dampers. And seal all cracks on doors and windows with tape or damp towels. Do not go to your local hospital. Hospitals all across the country are at full capacity and will not access additional patients. Grab an essential set of supplies for your shelter, such as non-perishable food, water, clothing, medical supplies, a flashlight, a first aid kit, a battery-powered or hand-crank radio with extra batteries, and other important items. The President will speak on all news stations shortly. Stand by.
Please stand by for a message from the representative of the President.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. We have always feared that severe situations will try to tear this nation apart. No, this is not a natural disaster, man-made disaster, nuclear war, or other dangerous situations that are commonly occurring all the time. Actually, what is happening is one that many of us thought will never happen. Massive swarms of genetically mutated Africanized killer bees with a venom similar in toxicity to the Japanese giant hornet are invading our country, and now Canada and Mexico. Hundreds of thousands have perished, while hundreds of thousands of others are fighting their lives from stains in the hospital. We are unsure where these bees originated from, but we are also unsure how to neutralize this threat. I assure you, my fellow Americans, that you will do your best to stop these bees from spreading into the rest of the world. Right now, I strongly encourage you to do these following instructions. First of all, stay indoors, and barricade all points of entry in your home so bees cannot enter. There are several ways bees can enter, by open doors and windows, cracks, or even air conditioning systems. Second, shelter in place, preferably in an interior room with a very limited amount of doors and windows, and stay there until it is declared safe by the proper authorities. Do not attempt to provoke any bees at all, as they are extremely aggressive and will attack on sight. Such attacks will result in cardiac arrest and death within as little as 30 minutes. Do not use your telephone, whether it is land or cell. Telephone lines should be kept open for emergency use only. If you make an unnecessary phone call, You might put someone that actually needs it at risk. Also, I strongly recommend to pray for your friends, your family, and yourself, as this may be the only way to prevent this disaster. Do not panic, and this is very important. Panicking will make the situation worse than it already is. While we may be in the midst of darkness and fear, we will fight to the end. May God save us all. This ends my message. Good night, and God bless.
That was a message from a representative of the President. We will now return to the emergency alert system.
That was a message from a representative of the President. We now return to the emergency alert system. Please stay tuned to this station for more information and further updates on this dangerous situation. This is an emergency action termination. Over the past 2 months, military personnel were sent out to kill all of the bees in the United States. They were successful, and all of the bees were killed. All residents are allowed to exit their shelters at this time. All broadcast and cable systems are allowed to resume regular programming. Emergency broadcasts will now be handed over to state and local officials. This concludes all operations under the emergency alert system. Regular programming will now resume. Your government thanks you for your cooperation during this emergency.